So we're going to wrap up our 4-week series when it came to the value of an advisor. Now, I think we bring a lot more than just 4 things to the table, but here we go. Here's the last one we're going to discuss, which is the shiny object syndrome. Now, what does that mean? So we as advisors sit back with clients and we really listen to what you are trying to accomplish. And there's a lot of noise that happens on that journey of trying to get to your goals. And sometimes that noise needs to be filtered. Sometimes that needs to be researched. Sometimes it needs to be thrown out, right? And so essentially we're here to help you get through all that noise and see what works for you and what doesn't work for your planning. So I have a couple that I've been working with for a long time. They tend to be a little bit risk adverse. And they came in with this new idea that they'd heard on a podcast, this new type of investment. And we sat down and we peeled it open and we looked at the good, the bad, the ugly, the downturn effect, the upturn effect. And at the end, they said, we only want to put maybe $1,000 in here. That won't affect our planning, but we want to participate. And that was completely fine. And so they were able to participate for a while and then sold it for a nice rate of return. And they did not feel like they were putting themselves in any kind of jeopardy, and they got a little bit of participation and upside. Now, that doesn't always happen. Sometimes it goes on the downside too, right? But in their case, that was a good strategy for just a little bit of money so that they could feel good about what they were doing and wanting to be a little bit more in the trend of things. Now, the other thing that people get fixated on or really hear a lot about are certain companies. Companies can get really fashionable in some respects when it comes to investing. And so there's certain companies that are talked about a lot, new, innovative, all that kind of stuff. And people call all the time and say, we want to have a piece of that. How do I get part of that? And a lot of times we're able to take a look at their diversified strategy and say, you actually already do own a piece of it. It's in XYZ fund, ETF, a couple of them. And a lot of times people are surprised that they're actually participating without knowing it, but they're getting to buy into that stock without throwing off your allocation too much and actually getting a better price, because a lot of times the ETFs cost less than the stock does that they're looking at because it's trendy, right? So the stock price is probably up. So sometimes we're here just to kind of decipher things, do the research, get you the information you need so that you can make the best decision for yourself. Shiny object syndrome. We're here to help combat that for you and make it work for you. One Vision Retirement, your retirement in 2020 vision.